Hey, this is Irene, your single Christian girl. Thank you for stopping into the channel. Just wanted to chat a bit about a clip that I saw from tonight's conversation. It's a show that discusses relationships. It looks like it's a live show. People come up with their questions and there's a panel and they kind of give their feedback, or they present their situation or their so-called friend situation, which I hear a lot. A lot of times I think it's their situation. Anyway, this lady comes up representing many single Christian girls or single Christian women. I won't say all, because a lot of us have our history and our past of, the life we've led, and then some people have slipped and gone back and forth. Whatever the case, you're a single Christian girl. If you're trying to follow that and do the best you can, all the love to you, and welcome to the channel. Thank you for watching. All the love, and for the men as well. Anyone's watching, welcome. But basically, we all have a past, a history, and sometimes we do make mistakes within our walk as Christians. And sometimes it's just temptation. Sometimes it's the enemy making us believe, this is the right thing to do. And sometimes it's just our desire that we might really want to be in a relationship. We might really want marriage. Whatever the case, we have this lady here. She is a 49-year-old virgin. I can relate to her. I'm in my 40s. I'm also a virgin. I don't talk about it a lot. I have a couple of clips on here, but I talk about, I share a lot of stuff about things going on, dealing with relationships, love, and all those matters. But yeah, I'm a virgin as well, and an older virgin, and people are somewhat fascinated by the fact that you're 40 plus and you're a virgin. Now, what age? People are like 25 or something. They're like, I'm still a virgin. Some people are like, wow, you're still a virgin at 25. Well, try being in your 40s. Anyway, I feel like at 25, you're still somewhat young, but today's standards, and even when I was coming up, there was a lot of teen pregnancies and all that stuff happening when I was coming up. So it's like, yeah, people were losing their virginity at younger and younger ages. But they talked to this lady, and so I'm asking the question, why are there 49-year-old virgins? So there was some guests there. There were some famous guests there, and one of the guys was like, you know what? I couldn't deal with you as at that age being a virgin, trying to teach and train you. I need some experience. We have the ladies on her side, commending her. And we have some of the men up there commending her as well. And one of the gentlemen said, having your own family and starting a family is one of the biggest purposes and points of life, and he just can't imagine not having a family and not doing all those things. But he said there are some people that are built like you that may, he's predicting that she's gonna stay a virgin and she may never marry or whatnot, because she does say, I'm doing this for my faith, I'm doing this by choice. That's why I'm 49-year-old virgin. But then I was thinking, I'm not doing it by choice anymore at my age. I'm doing it because of my faith, but I'm also doing it because I've kind of conditioned myself my whole life to follow this regimen of what I want to be and how I want to live. But also, I realize the frivolousness of different relationships is not what I want either. I want the commitment of marriage, especially if I start a family and have kids. I don't just want to do this frivolously. I don't want to just do this by, oops, that was a mistake here. I would like to be calculated and follow the plan of God when it comes to that. So she also says something about when she tells men that she's a virgin at that age, that they kind of say, oh, that's good, pat her on her back, but it's like, no. Basically, yeah, that's the same scenario that I've had. And if there are any virgins that are in their 40s or 30s or 40s, chime in. Even older than that, chime in with your comments and thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. But it's like, It's a struggle, and it's like, okay, it was by choice at first, but then as I got older and older, it was no longer by choice. It was also about, like I said, experiencing different things in life and knowing what I want in life, and knowing that at this point I've held on this long. Why settle for some random dude just to lose it with? Now, I remember growing up seeing talk shows, and even in somewhat recent history, people were like, I'm an older virgin, I want to lose my virginity. They just want to lose it to somebody. And I just don't have that mentality that I just need to lose this thing. I want it to be special. I want it to be right. And I want it to be led by God. Now, I'm sure people have lost their virginity and they felt it was special, but most likely they didn't marry that person. And sometimes when people, I've heard so many stories of men getting married because they got the woman pregnant. And I don't want that story, and I didn't want that storyline or story plot for my life. And like I said again, like she's doing, I wanted to follow God. But yeah, my initial thought is, why are there 49-year-old virgins? Because you meet people, you meet men like some of the men in this video, and they're like, I need some experience. I can't teach you. I'm sure he would teach you, though. He would teach you before marriage, but he's not going to make the commitment to marry you. Now it's so hard to teach you, right? It's just that you want to try it out. You want to have fun, and you don't want the commitment. That's the experiences I've had with many men that I've met, Christian or not. Many men just can't fathom spending the rest of their lives with someone that they don't know what it's going to be like if they sleep with them. But I feel like you can tell if there's going to be initial chemistry, unless you guys don't touch each other at all. And I've heard of people that do this, especially in the abstinence and the celibacy communities, where they don't touch each other until marriage. They don't kiss each other till marriage. They don't hold hands or any of that. Holding hands is a temptation for some people, which I never really understood that. I need to have some affection to see if I have a connection with that person. It can only go so far, but having that, and also spending time talking with that person, the butterflies, all these things kind of shows you the physical compatibility, and then all the other things have to line up as well. So I don't feel like you have to do everything in order to know that you have at least some type of chemistry with that person. And I was I was a part of a group that practiced celibacy and abstinence, and I'm still part of the group. I'm not as active, but they were asking, like, how could you, what if your partner was not good after you got married, and how do you deal with that? And we were just saying, you kind of teach the person, you work with the person, because the love and foundation is not just based on the bedroom. You guys have so many other things that connects you, and that connection can help build up that physical connection as well. But a lot of people out here, it's the dating environment. A lot of men expect you to sleep with them early on in a relationship, and if not early on, they say at some point you gotta sleep with me. No one is doing it traditionally these days. It's the expectations. That's why there's a 49-year-old virgin, because no one wanted to take the time. She even said the commitment. No one wanted to really commit to her to even get to the next level, what marriage will be for her. And there's so many other options out here. There's all these apps, and you can just get somebody to do something with you. Ladies, we've also lowered our standards, and we just sleep with people and have these different experiences. And when traditionally we used to, hold ourselves back a little bit more. We used to take a little bit more time. We used to have the guy jump a few more hoops, but a lot of times these days we're just doing it normally, and this is like the whole dating scenario. We're doing it on the first date, we're doing it after the third date, or whatever the rules are for society, or whatever you want to do. It's kind of like That's why there's still 49-year-old virgins. That's why there's still single women that have never been married. That maybe they're not virgins, but that's why so many women aren't married. That's why so many some women, I'm not gonna say so many, it's not hundreds, but you just hear more and more stories of older virgins because we're out here trying to live a traditional lifestyle, and a lot of people is like, nah, I can get it somewhere else. Nah, I don't feel like committing. Nah, I don't want to put in the work. Like the guy said about teaching you anything. Nah, I just, want to get mine and then be out, or get mine and I'll stay for a while. But the commitment of marriage, the chances are pretty low. Now, there are a lot of good couples that are married. Shout out to you guys and love to you guys. But it's a lot of women and people generally that want to be married that are struggling. A lot of singles that are struggling and just not being able to navigate in this dating world, because that's all everybody wants to do is take that part of you, take your money, take different things, and not really give anything to you or put anything into the relationship or make any type of commitments. Marriage isn't even a goal anymore. So that's why, from my summation and from my experience, there are virgins that's this old. This is not really what God intended. And it's not even what I intended. At a certain age, I was expecting to be married. Like the gentleman said on the video, it's one of the most beautiful things and purposeful things is to create and start a family of your own. That was all my intention, and that's what I wanted. But not finding a compatible partner was the problem. There's a lot of women out here that are single and doing it on their own, and they just been left to that situation. That's not how I wanted to do it. Of course, divorce happens and women still find themselves in those situations, but they have a little bit more of a support system because of marriage has allowed them certain rights that you may not get otherwise. But the legal system is changing and you do have more rights. As long as you have a child with that person, you have more rights. You have DNA testing that will help you and support you with as a single mom, but you don't have the full support of a father being in the home. All of those things are kind of missing because marriage is no longer a priority. Marriage can be put on the back burner. Marriage is not even on people's minds or even on their lips. So this is the state of the world today. This is just showing you the state of the world, how different the world is, how much we respect the word of God and the sanctity of marriage. And I think a lot of people are missing out on what God's plan was in the first place. And we're kind of doing things our own way. We're missing fathers in the home. We're missing good husbands and good wives. There's a whole position in our life that is missing because we've chosen to follow our own plan. We've chosen to fulfill our own desires and do things the way that we want to do. So we don't get the benefits and the luxury of having a good spouse, having a family environment for our kids, and them being able to see what they need to do as they grow up and they start their own families and how to respect and love each other. You don't have a father in a home. You have multiple people coming through your life and your kids see this. I'm not saying multiple like it's like a lot of people coming through like that. There are some scenarios, but you have people coming through when God only intended to be one person. And that person is the child's father, the child's mother. So it's like, we've lost a lot by not following that formula. And this is what we're left with, 49-year-old virgins. We're left with single moms. Because people don't want to put in the work, then they don't have to put in the work. They can find someone that's going to follow the so-called dating rules and the customs of today. And, you sleep with the person, it wasn't good, or you sleep with the person a few times. The person acts like they're committed to you, but they're really sleeping with other people, or they could just leave at any time. And it's just so open and free-flowing, and I think a lot of feelings are hurt, emotions are hurt, spirits are broken, And we don't even realize it because we're accustomed and used to doing this until we can see the aftermath of what it does to us personally as people, individuals, what it's done to society. So that is my summation of why there are 49-year-old virgins. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts, comments. Do you have any deeper thoughts, things that I have not covered, things that I have not thought of why this is the case? Please drop them. I love to hear from you. Single Christian girls, guys, non-Christians, anyone listening, chime in. Love to everyone. And I will talk to you guys again on the channel. Keep watching. Thank you for your support. All the best. And God bless. You can email me at cbiztv@yahoo.com or cbizmedia1@gmail.com. Check out the Prayers Up Club. Click the link in the description on this channel and that'll take you to the Prayers Up Club. Thank you for all your support again. And will I ever get married? Not sure. Will I be a virgin forever? I don't know. Well, maybe that lady will be, maybe she won't. There's channels about this too. As people even get older into their senior years, there's channels with people saying that they're still a virgin. So it is what it is. All right, guys, we're going to talk again. Bye-bye.